A major development in the ongoing conflict in Syria. Russian forces have started to withdraw from Syria after nearly 6 months of an air campaign there. Military jets took off from their base in Syria earlier today to return home.
The move comes as peace talks resume at the UN. Holly Williams has reported extensively from inside Syria, and we're happy to have her with us today. Thank you. What's up?
Yeah, it's good to be here.
It's good to have you. So listen, let's talk about this. This Russian intervention, it clearly benefited the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, but this is really surprising. Why are they pulling out now?
No, we don't know. We can speculate. It absolutely propped up the Syrian regime. The first half of last year, the regime was looking very weak. It looked as if it was tottering. What these Russian airstrikes have done is really prop up the regime. They're a crutch for the Syrian regime. Why is Russia leaving now? Russia always said that this wasn't open-ended, that this was a finite deployment. But the timing is very surprising. What's not clear is how big a withdrawal this is. The Russians are saying this morning that they're going to reduce down to around 1,000 troops. They have had 4,000, maybe 6,000 troops in Syria. We're already seeing videos of Russian warplanes leaving Syria, but some are clearly going to stay because the Russians say that they're going to continue their airstrikes. The big question there is whether those airstrikes will be primarily or solely directed at ISIS, or whether they'll continue to target rebels, including rebels who are backed by the US. What's the message in this? We can speculate. I think it's possible that Vladimir Putin is saying to the rebels and their outside backers in the Middle East and the US, I've shown you what I can do. I can prop up the Syrian regime. You need to negotiate. There needs to be a political settlement. He may also be putting pressure on the Assad regime itself, saying, I've done what I can to help you. I've tipped the war in your favor. Now you need to negotiate.
So then what sort of impact could this have, do you think, on the fight against ISIS? Because it was sort of unclear whether or not ISIS was being affected by the Russians or not.
I think, look, today marks the 5th anniversary of the Syrian uprising, which led to the Syrian civil war. Even if Russia's intervention and now its withdrawal do somehow force a political settlement between the Syrian regime and the rebels, what we need to recognise is that this situation has become indescribably chaotic. This is no longer just about an uprising against the Syrian regime. We have ISIS, we have al-Nusra, the al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria, and we have Kurdish groups who are very keen for autonomy in the plot of land that they've now marked out in northeastern Syria.
Holly, you talked about this anniversary, this macabre anniversary. Just put into context for our viewers, I mean, did you ever think it would, when this started and it was a couple of people that were protesting, you know, the government repression, we saw some children that were being killed, and it has blossomed into this thing where hundreds of thousands of people have died in this war. What is the toll on the Syrian people, on the region?
It's hard to think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to think about that this started as peaceful protests.
Yeah.
People of different religions in Syria wanting democracy, wanting an end to dictatorship. That then developed into an armed conflict between the regime, between these armed groups. And now we have this incredibly chaotic situation with extremist groups who have nothing to do with the original conflict, who have just capitalized on this chaos, groups like ISIS, to gain a foothold in Syria. And as I said, even if somehow this Russian intervention leads to some kind of political settlement, it's difficult to see how Syria can ever function as one country again.
And we forget sometimes, too, that Syria is an ancient country with ancient cities, Damascus, these beautiful cities that have existed for thousands of years. And when you see some of the images, we just saw you there on the ground. Yeah. Completely devastated, wiped out.
Right, so much of that history's been lost. But for me, I mean, by far the most upsetting thing is the human cost. Yeah. 250,000 people killed, and that's a conservative number. It's probably much higher, you know, hundreds of thousands of people higher, and you know, millions and millions of people displaced. And of course, this refugee crisis that is now unfolding on the shores of Europe is in large part a product of this war.
When you talk to people on the ground, do you get a sense that they're still hopeful about their country, though? Do they believe that whether it's through war or for some sort of peaceful resolution, that at some point Syria will be back to what it was before?
No. Most people I speak to, certainly on the Turkey-Syrian border, are not hopeful. And there's that sense that, you know, when you talk to Syrians in 2012, they felt as if there was an end in sight, that the regime could be defeated. I think part of the reason that we're seeing hundreds of thousands of Syrians make this risky journey to Europe, risking their lives, is that they don't think there's going to be a future for them inside Syria.
Holly Williams, incredible reporting. Thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.